So when we go in a class, we expect our students should say good afternoon. So are we students right now as a learning in a global education is a test for it. So this is what happens as we grow, we cut off from the world, right? So good afternoon everybody. Yeah, great, thank you. So can we test this further? Are you really wanting to learn in this global education platform? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, let's see. So close your eyes for a few seconds. Everybody close your eyes. I'm going to test. Whosoever, there are volunteers who are sitting who are not closing their eyes, okay? So close your eyes for a few seconds. Yeah. Close your eyes. Ma'am, last few seats. Done. Pin drop silence. I'm going to give an instruction and let's see test how open are we to learn. The morning discussion was about we need to learn, not the child. Don't think of a monkey. 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 Open your eyes. Yeah. How many people thought of a monkey? Raise your hands. Yeah. Almost all. Come on, don't lie. Let's be honest. We are talking about values. We have to live by the values before we teach the children. Yeah. Almost everybody. The monkey was coming. So why? Are we not taught English medium? Have we not gone to school? Don't we understand the language? I'm saying don't think of a monkey and we still think about a monkey. Yeah. Exactly. So this is what we are saying. If the teacher can be nice to a student, not necessarily that all the people who interact with the student are going to be nice. So what is going to be shouted and thrown upon and overlapped, that is what will sit. We had a nice conference over here and at this moment of time, suppose a tea was supposed to be given and we tell that no tea is available, please go off. You will remember this 5 minutes about DWC and forget everything for the whole day, which was a good hospitality. Yes or yes? That will dominate. That will dominate, right? So therefore the question, my friends, is that how do we look at, developing a visionary school which is holistic, which is just not one dimension. And national education policy is a classic case for that. I will take you through those particular case studies. So, the first element of a visionary school, if you look at, can we move the slides, please? Can we move the slides? Yeah. So the challenge, what's the challenge, in terms of vision? The challenge is basically, there are 4 different elements to this particular challenge. One is about the incomplete being, the child which is there, which is born and which is being sent to the school. Is it the being complete? The being, when I say in terms of physical, in terms of mental, in terms of emotional, in terms of social. So there is an incompleteness of that. And when the child is being put on to the pre-KG, we start teaching standing line, sleeping line, vertical line and slant, all of that particular thing, but we don't touch that particular being completeness. And this incomplete actually shows up into the student's career, in the student's business. So that's the first challenge. The second is about not ready for 21st century education. I wonder how many of you know, if you look at Zoho, they are recruiting people at 8, 9, 10, 10 standard. They don't require qualification and certification and degree. If you look at Google, they have stopped looking at qualifications and degree. It is all about the skill. So do we look at that 21st century skill? I say that I'm drawing X number salary. Can you give me a job? And maybe you can, industry average could be 30% hike, but just give me 20%, you will be thinking twice. But if I say, if you have a 1 crore of business, I am here to come and take your 1 crore to 100 crore. In that 100 crore, you give me 10 crore, you will happily give me. So do I have that ability of the 21st century thinking to be able to contribute? Third is about the stressful towards competitive exams. Everything is about rat race, wo karo, ye karo, wo pado, and it is just the student is running. So that's the rat race. How do we make this rat race into a fun, So maybe kabaddi bhi khelte hain, cricket bhi khelte hain, there is itna bhag dod hota hai, but there is a fun. How do we bring in the fun? And the last is about not an optimum context and environment. We are in a continuous judgment. We are judging the student, we have the judgment, you judge everything. The world is all about the perception, right? So how do we look at taking off this particular judgment and create an optimum environment which is learning for the child, and so that we are able to do a holistic development? Next, please. So therefore, my friends, what is the issue? If this is a challenge, what's the problem? So, and the COVID is the one big learning time that we had, where we understood that if these are the problems, if we have to live, then it will lead to anxiety, suicide, anger, frustration, jealousy, unhappiness, mental illness, misaligned, and so on. So these are the first set of problems when the being is not complete. It's not about the skill and education and platform and technology. It's the being. We are a human being. Second is about, if the next element is not being looked at, then there is more focus on the marks, and you will run around those particular things. मेरे को 2 mark कम पड़ गए, 2 mark बैठ. End of the day, you all know we are sitting here. आपको first rank आया, second rank आया, आपने इतना marks किया, आधे mark के लिए रेडा, doesn't matter. We are all on the same. At life, it doesn't matter. So how you are able to better up yourself from something that you are loving and something that you are passionate about is what will define the end of the day, the happiness. You may be drawing several C, you may be CEO or MD, but at home when you go, if you do not find that happiness with your wife and children, it's of no use. So how do you look at, because it's only life. अगर आपने पास 2 life होते, तो 1 life you could have spent that and 1 life you would have spent being happy. But that's not so. It is only one life, right? And no parent would like their child to be unhappy. So how do we look at those issues? Third is about how do we prepare for the competitive exams, because while we say that, but can we prepare in a fun way, whether it is Olympiad, whether it is IIT, whether it is JEE, right? And fourth is about how do we look at the context, when we say context, whether it is a principal, whether it is a teacher, whether it is a founder, whether it is a Aya, whether it is a driver, however we look at bringing learning opportunity and orientation program for these people from a leadership standpoint so that they are able to collectively create a nice environment. If we are all, instead of sitting over here, and if we are sitting at the airport right now, and if I am giving this, none of you will understand because the context is not right. It can be same presentation, it can be same Kalyankumar Hatti, it can be same DWEC name, but you will not have, because the environment is not there. We are able to sit here, listen it, because it is of the right context. Are we creating this right context for the child? Next, please. So therefore, my friends, this brings up the need and purpose for the visionary school, which has 4 elements. The first element is about the holistic development, developing the core of the child. Second is about the holistic learning, where we prepare the child for the world. Third is about the holistic growth, where we bring the edge to the child through competitive exams, through career counseling, through career mapping, and so on. And the last element is about the signature workshops, so that we create the right context by transformation programs for all the stakeholders around the child, and therefore it becomes a child-centric holistic development education. Can we look at that? And a national education policy provides that opportunity for us to move into this particular space. Till then, otherwise, it was just black and white. जो है सिखाया है, जो बढ़ाना है, जो syllabus है, इतना हुआ, number इतना pass हुआ. That's right. But now, Government of India is coming forward to this. NSDC is coming forward to this. Sector 6 Council is coming forward to this. So because I am saying this because Metamorphosis as an organization has 3 skill centers. They are working on DWEC program, NULM program, PMKY program. So there are 3 skill centers in Chennai, and government is supporting a lot on that. For per student, they are giving 35,000. A school student may not be getting there. 35,000 is paid per student. We don't charge a single rupee to the student. That's the initiative which government is coming forward to. Next, please. So therefore, when it comes to holistic development, we need to look at how we develop these particular aspects. So there are several processes that we can think of, whether it could be a thank you process, or it could be a gratitude related process, or it could be about the forgiveness related process. So making the leader is a diary which each child gets. There is a digital platform. All of this content and coursework and everything is on a digital platform. On the platform, you can have credits, you can have scores, you can have the dashboards, you can watch and see the learning of each child. You can even watch and learn, see how each teacher's content is getting consumed. You can put your own school content on that. You can put external content. You feel that there is some other expert who's come, which can be good. There are some questions like sports, ho nahi sakta, why we are not talking. If you feel that that is what you need to integrate, you can bring that. All of that is provided through this technology platform of Learn and Inspire, which is actually a learning partner for life, whether it is Learn and Inspire school or college or corporate or business or MSME or old age. So right from the cradle to the graveyard. So all the aspects, as you cross over every stage of life, Learn and Inspire is the learning partner for you. Here we are discussing more on the Learn and Inspire school. Next, please. So next is about the 21st century skills. So in 21st century thinking skills is basically, it's about strategic ability to strategically think. So there is a drone simulation through which you can develop the strategic thinking. Instead of playing on Facebook or WhatsApp or TV or serial or cartoon, one child can engage on all of this and develop those abilities. It could be about critical thinking skills. It could be about lateral thinking skills. ऐसे क्यों नहीं हो सकता है, right? So we lose somewhere in our life journey the ability to question, and it is the ability to question is what leads to innovation, right? So we need to be innovating to be able to survive as an organization, as a school, as a person, as a family. Next, please. So next is about the entrepreneurial attributes. So here, we teach. How many of you can tell me A for, what is A for? Anybody? Apple. Okay. B for banana. Okay. A for apple, B for banana, C for, yeah. So this is, yeah. Thank you. So this is where the challenge is. After so much of education, learning and reaching this particular stage, we still feel when we talked about entrepreneurship and all that, can we look at A for appreciation? Can we look at B for bold? Can we look for C for courage, D for determination, E for empathy, F for fun, G for greatness? So can we teach these entrepreneurial attributes to the children? It's just based on my book, Making Great Leaders Happen. That's a book written by me with 25 years of experiences traveling across several coaches and mentors across the globe. So there are certification program on this entrepreneurship where each module, there are 26 such modules spread across 3 different years. Next, please. The technology leadership. So how do you bring in the tech? Tech is the must, whether it is medical field, engineering field, non-medical field or creative art, where you take anything, there is technology. Even आप घर में अगर बैठोगे तो फैन भी घूमता रहेगा तो that is also a technology. TV देखोगे तो भी technology है. खाना पकाओगे तो भी technology है. So everything there is a technology. So if we are not exposed to a technology, then we are making our children handicapped. So therefore, we have to equip the children with the right technology skills. So instead of engaging on an activity where it is just gamification and there is no much learning, we can engage on that. Drone simulation, you can simulate on a drone and develop strategic thinking. You can do a AR/VR coding where you can develop the ability of creative thinking. You can look at AI where you can develop the structural thinking skills and so on. Next, please. The life skills, end of the day, it's about the life skill. For example, if you listen to the open world, we all used to say Kingfisher ka brand hai, pen lagayenge, diary lagayenge, we should show pride. Today it is not so. What has happened to the brand? So somewhere the core value has gone lost. Or if you look at coaches, she raised stores to the level of a chairman of ICICI Bank. She had to resign. What happened? Somewhere the value is lost. You have Nani Lambani built such a big industry. Then, in court we are saying that, sorry, I am bankrupt and I do not have any money and I am completely on street. So what has gone wrong with all of this? The core is core values. So are we teaching our children those particular core values which can be for their life and so apne parents ko sharminda na karna paye? Right? So are we as a school founders, as a school educators taking effort in that particular direction to prepare those global citizens for the country and for the world? Next, please. So academic accelerator. So end of the day, we also need marks. 10th be important hai, 12th be important hai. So science, mathematics, audio, videos and all that, is also being taught for. So this is what will be covered in the holistic learning. Next, please. Next, please. So the holistic growth, and this is where the career development, where we are working very closely with DWC to say that how, from a career counseling perspective, career development, we can create opportunities for the students. So while they go through this whole entire learning platform, they get tagged to DWC to be able to take the journey forward. Similarly, the competitive exams, and then there are My School labs. So there are practical lab setup that can be done in the school where students can get exposed to. Next, please. So last is the holistic transformation. So if you look at the holistic transformation, it's about the entire context. There is a leader of leader program for principals. There are teachers or leaders program for the teachers. There is a leadership orientation program for IAs, drivers. There is visionary school founder program to be able to create that vision, and how do you leave a legacy on the planet Earth, right? So for especially, we could have been in the lawyer industry, we could have been there in any other industry, but the fact that we are all in the education industry and we have come here, there must be a purpose. So how do you lead from the purpose? How you lead from the state of being? So therefore, can we connect our purpose to this and to be able to create that transformation? Next, please. Yeah. So this is what is all about the online platform. So here I've just run through you the content, but there is a complete tech platform available which can be configured to a specific school, which can be customized to them, where you can put your own content. If you don't need content, only platform is required, only platform can be given. You can have platform plus content, you can have platform plus our content, you can have platform plus somebody else's content. All those permutations and different combinations are possible. Okay, so that's what is about. So if you would like to take forward this particular journey on Learn and Inspire to become a visionary school, there's a project of looking at developing 1,000 visionary schools across the country along with NISA, National Independent School Alliance, as an association partner, as a lead partner.